Title: Harmony Between Worlds. The humidity clung to Jason Mitchell's skin as he navigated through the dense undergrowth of the Amazon rainforest. Each step was calculated to avoid the treacherous roots snaking across the forest floor, his boots squelching in the mud. The familiar weight of his specimen collection kit bounced against his hip as he searched for the elusive Heliconia sorum he had spotted earlier that morning. "Come on, you beautiful bastard," he muttered, ducking under a low-hanging branch. The rare flower variant had led him deeper into unexplored territory, well beyond his usual research zone. His GPS unit beeped softly, marking another waypoint, and the sound of rushing water grew louder, indicating a stream ahead, perfect conditions for the specimen he sought. As the vegetation thinned, sunlight filtered through the canopy, creating a natural spotlight on the stream bank. Jason froze. Something felt different, wrong. The air pulsed with an otherworldly energy. That's when he saw her. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light, but as he drew closer, his scientific mind struggled to process the sight before him. A humanoid figure lay crumpled at the water's edge, her skin emanating a soft blue luminescence that rippled like the aurora borealis. Her hair spread around her head like a halo, shifting colors in perfect harmony with the surrounding foliage. Deep greens, rich browns, and flecks of gold. "Holy shit," he breathed, dropping to his knees beside her. Training kicked in, overriding his shock. He pressed two fingers to her neck, searching for a pulse, then jerked back in surprise. Her skin was cool to the touch, but definitely alive. He could feel a faint thrumming beneath the surface, unlike any heartbeat he had ever encountered. Her eyes snapped open, revealing irises of molten gold. She tried to move but collapsed back with a sound that, while unintelligible, unmistakably conveyed pain. "Hey, take it easy," Jason said softly, raising his hands to show he meant no harm. "I'm not going to hurt you." She watched him with those impossible eyes, her chest rising and falling in rapid, shallow breaths. Various injuries marked her body, cuts, bruises, and what looked like burns, though they had a strange crystalline quality. Jason's mind raced. The nearest hospital was hours away, and even if he could get her there, he glanced at her clearly non-human features. Traditional help wasn't an option. The research station, he decided aloud. The abandoned facility was less than a mile away, and he had been using it as a base camp for the past week. "I can help you, but we need to move. Can you understand me?" She made another sound, this one more deliberate, and her trembling hand reached toward him. "Okay, this might hurt, but we have to get you somewhere safe." He shrugged off his backpack and gently wrapped her in an emergency blanket. When he lifted her, she was surprisingly light, as if her bones were hollow like a bird's. The trek back to the station was slow and careful. Every few minutes, he checked her condition. Her luminescence had dimmed considerably, which he instinctively knew wasn't good. The research station emerged from the forest like a forgotten relic, a simple concrete structure reclaimed by vegetation. Jason shouldered open the door he had cleared earlier that week and carried her to the cot he had set up in what used to be the main laboratory. "Water," he said more to himself than to her. "You need water." He grabbed his canteen and helped her take small sips. Her golden eyes never left his face, studying him with an intensity that made his skin prickle. After she had drunk what she could, he began treating her visible wounds with his first aid kit. The crystalline burns worried him most. They seemed to pulse with their own internal light. "I'm Jason," he said as he worked, keeping his voice steady and calm. "I'm a botanist, a scientist who studies plants." He wasn't sure why he was explaining that to someone who probably didn't understand English, but the sound of his voice seemed to help her relax. She watched him dress her wounds, then touched her chest with a graceful hand. "Lyra," she said, the word coming out, stilted but clear. "Lyra, is that your name?" he asked. She nodded slowly, then winced at the movement. "Okay, Lyra, I don't know what happened to you or where you came from, but you're safe here." He finished bandaging the last visible wound. I have some food in my pack. You should try to eat something." He retrieved his emergency rations, high-calorie bars meant for survival.